I want to share with you, I shared it on Slack, right? And this is like your future if you choose to accept it, right? Your mission if you choose to accept it. For those of you that want to, really take the insurance sales part of our business and maximize it, this is what you can do. And what I love about this post that Belle did on Facebook was that it was over time, over a month of effort, right? So it says here, invested 4,000 in leads, 1,000 per week, worked the system 40 appointments per week. And then she actually showed the plan to 40 people per week for recruiting. And then here are the results. She shows her end of month or end of the 4-week period commissions. So she grossed 57,000, had about 1810 in chargebacks, which is a really good ratio, gang, for 55,190.07. And you can look at her, personal sales with 33,000. She had 18,000 in overrides. That rocks right there. The glow bonus, she had almost 5,000 in glow bonuses. So that's pretty cool. Then renewals, et cetera. So, so what does this really tell you? It says that, if you're going to make an investment, you're going to get a return as long as you work the system. And that's what she says, they're working the system. I know some of y'all in past things were monster producers. And so you know what you had to do, right, to become monster producers back in that other IMO or what you did years ago. So, wash, rinse, repeat. Let's get back on it. Let's start getting some leads and start working your way up. You don't got to do 1,000 a week. Look, come on, man. Think about this. If she did 1,000 a month, 250 a week, she'd probably get a fourth of what she, so let's say personal sales, 33,336. Actually, so if you did 1,000 a week or 1,000 a month, you probably make $8,000, right? $8,000. And she's got all these other things going on, glow bonuses and renewals and stuff, but it's just purely, 33,000 in sales volume. So instead of 1,000 a month, she decided to do 1,000 a week. So instead of doing 10 appointments a week for 40 appointments in a month for $1,000, $250 a week, she elected to collapse timeframes and putting it in a month, right? So look, is it always going to be perfect? No. And she's had, not so good months, and she's had awesome months, and she's having more awesome months this year because she's committed to being very diligent in investing in leads and investing in the work ethic to turn those leads into sales, right? And it really comes down to committing yourself to what you need to do, like betting on yourself that and look, Belle's former Army, her husband Jake, former Army, he was a helicopter pilot. She was I don't know what you call them, she was a bomb person, ordnance, whatever that terminology is in the Army for someone who handles bombs. That's what she did. So she's a beast, but she was not ever in sales. She wasn't in sales in the Army, but she got involved with us and she learned sales from jump, right? Like some of you brand new, like some of you new agents to us, you've got sales background. I'm telling you, she had zero sales background when she joined us. And look what she's doing. She's been with us, I don't know, 4 years, maybe 4 years. So she's learned everything she's doing over time. And so number one, how do you do what she's doing? You have to go through what you went through. Like you have to go through the no-shows and the getting better and the objection handling. Well, actually, I don't have time. I don't have that kind of time. Well, then do more. You accelerate the time by doing more activity every week, more activity, so you can season yourself to the point where you are making money, right? And so it's a very simple concept when you think about investing in leads, right? It's, let me see. All right, man, my camera system is working. Small victories. I am reveling in the small victories. So if she was doing, she did 1,000. So 250 a week would be about, for her was like let's just say 8,000, issue paid on commissions actually. On average, right? Like a thousand produced about 8,000 or what is the 8,300, 33. 83, let's just say 83. Okay, now to be fair, when you've got 40 appointments a week, you're just trying to go to whoever's going to see you, and you're going to get the numbers from there. And your closing rates are higher because you have so many appointments, right? So if you had 40 appointments in a week versus 10 in a week, which is what 250 will give you, 10 a week, you start freaking out when you get your first 3 no-shows or first 5 no-shows. You're going, oh my God, I hope the rest of them show up. Okay. So if you did 250 a week, you're probably not going to get 8,000 because you're going to have the pucker factor. Plus you're not as good as Belle. You're not going to be as good as her. Okay. So maybe 250 is 4,000. Maybe you are only going to get 4,000 out of it, right? So let's say out of 250, so you only are half as good as her. Like, is that something you can believe in, that you're half as good as someone who's good? Like you're only half as good. And like I said, you might have some sales background already. Maybe you've sold insurance before. Okay. So let's say you net, after the 250, let's say you net 1,800. Okay. Net from that investment. Okay. In fact, let me just do this. Stephen, let's just get real conservative. $1,200. So we can get this. Put it up here. Make $1,200. Again, I'm dumbing it down. Like, I'm not even saying you're half as good as her. You're 1/4. You're 1/4 as good as her, right? You're not even 1/4 as good because 1,200, what, times 4? You're not even good. So you're making 1,200. So what do you do with the 1,200? Do you pay your bills with 1,200? No, I would probably suggest that on week 2, let's double down, man. Can you take 500 out of the 1,200? Because you're not as good as her, but if you did 500, is it reasonable to maybe think, now look, over time, your ratios are going to get better. But like I said, you're not even 1/4 as good as her. So if you did 500, you think you'd double 2,400, right? Well, heck, 2,400, I can double down again, 1,000. I'll make 4,800. Do you see how you can leverage what you're doing? Okay. Now look, maybe it's going to take, week 1, week 2, week 3 at 250, 250, 250. And then over time, let's say by first week, second week, right? Maybe it's 1,000. Okay, third week, let's say it's 800 because you're starting to get it. Okay. So far, as the end of week 3, you made 1,800. You've invested 750. So as far as I can tell, you probably made some money, right? So what should you do week 4? Let's take some of this money that eventually paid out, issue paid on you, and let's go up to 500. So now you're plus 1,300 that goes into your bank account. That's your like backup money. That's your seed money. That's your like, okay, I can do 500 next week. I can do 500 the next week. Like I could at least do 500 the next 2 weeks out of this 1,300. Actually, I could do the next week 6, right? With this 1,800, it'll fund that, okay? So let's say you start getting a little bit better, okay? So now let's say you're consistently at 1,200, it's not even that good, right? And then maybe you pop up to 2,400, then maybe this is an 800 week, right? In terms of commissions, what is that? 0, 0. And by the way, this is not too far off in my experience. 6, and 1, 3, 3,600. Is that right? Get that math? No, I didn't get that math right. Six. No, that's not. What am I doing wrong? 4,400, right? Yeah, 4,400. So you got 4,400. Thanks, Annette. Like I had like almost heat exhaustion yesterday from our outdoor mass. Okay, so now you got 4,400. What do you think you can do the next 4 weeks? Right? Week 7, man, I'd go for it. Only if you're willing to invest in yourself. See what you've done? Now, maybe you will get bells, but let's say this is 4,000, this is a 3,000 week, it's 2,500 week, and then you got another 3,800 week, right? Okay, here's my point. What is this? 4, 7, 9, 12,800 minus 4,000. Okay, so that's what? 8,800. Okay, Bell's getting 8,800 on 1,000. Do you think you netting 8,800 after 4,000? Do you think that's okay? Would you be okay with that, netting 8,800 after 4,000? Again, you're a quarter as good as her. She's getting 8,800 on average per 1,000. You know, and she's probably got some annuities in there. So that increased her commission. She probably had some annuities because she's been with us long enough. Like Karen found 3 small annuities. You will find annuities, right? But guess what happens? Okay. But Alex, I really don't want to spend that much money on leads. Okay. So what you do is on this sale, you got 10 ERSs. And on this sale, you got 10 ERSs. So that's 20 ERSs. Do you think out of 20, you might make 1 or 2 sales? Let's say you make 1 sale. Okay, let's say you made $800 on that 1 sale. So instead of $800 worth of leads, so you just multiply what you did. And so your lead investment, as you get ERSs, so let's say this, produces 10, this produces 20, this produces 30, this produces 10. So now you got what, 10, 30, 60, 70 ERSs. How many sales do you think you make off 70 ERSs? You can make 3 sales. You can make what, $2,400? That's $2,400 that also funds your lead investment. So out of here, do you think after doing this, you probably have 40 ERSs, 30, 25, 40. So now that's what? 70, 95, 135 ERSs. How many sales do you think you make off that? This program is designed for you to make money if you're willing to bet on yourself and use our system to leverage what you're doing to make money. It's a money-making system. It's not designed for you to fail. We're not making money off you investing in leads. We're making money off you investing in leads and working in leads to sell life insurance. You see how that works? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then add the ERS to it. You can like do all of this without even having leads. Imagine having no lead investment. Now you're netting this money. You're not. Now you're netting 12,800, and you're probably going to be doing more. I mean, am I making sense, or am I talking Chinese, man? Or Swahili? Is this making sense? It's 12:01. I've already had people drop off. That's all right. Anyway, gang, this business works if you're willing to make it work and putting the work in to do it and investing in leads. We've got a variety of different lead systems out there. Belle is using primarily direct mail leads, Facebook leads, all the different lead programs. She's doing referrals. She's doing everything within the system, right? So she's not doing anything extraordinary. She probably has current clients too that she's doing some of that. She's taking advantage of all the system. Like I said, she's really, really good, but she only got really, really good because she decided to invest early to get good, to get the experience, to get seasoning, so that she'll get more out of what she gets. That's why out of 1,000, she can get 8,800. Like, man, I'd be happy if you got 1,200, or out of 1,000, I'd be happy if you got 2,400, right? So anyway, gang, that's it, man.